the 22 day. So
no, it'll be Thursday.
It's a good day to put into action. So it's good timing around that time.
It is. And I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower. I'm sitting here chatting with Trisha Gelder, who's Numerologist Extraordinaire. I've been a little bit off today because I overslept and got a little discombobulated, and we were just chatting, and I forgot to tell Trish that we were live. At least you didn't cuss, Trish.
No. I always understand that there's a reason. But I was running a bit late, so in a way it works out.
So it all worked out well. Excellent. So are you starting to get Christmassy weather over there in the UK? It's
gone. Last night I noticed I was shivering. I'm normally actually quite warm all the time. We don't have the heating on at the moment, but we've got a little heater because this place we're in has got storage heaters and I don't like them. They come on in the day and they go off at night, which is just ridiculous.
Well, that is.
Yeah. So we've just been having this little fan heater on, but it's good for like putting it on and then turn it off when you don't need it.
Absolutely.
But last night was really cold and today is really cold.
Oh, okay. Well, we're cold here in Florida too. We got down into the 60s.
Oh God. I don't know.
So I had to put a blanket on my bed last night. We actually got into the 50s last night, like 55 or 56. So
let me look at my just the temperature on my phone. Let's see.
Sue says that you've inspired her, Trisha.
I don't know. I'm not looking at the chat yet.
So that's a good thing.
Who's that? So who have I inspired?
Sue Duda.
I don't know.
Well, I'm glad that you have.
Unless it's the lady I've just been speaking to, but I don't know her YouTube name.
So what kind of a week are we looking at, do you think, overall?
I'll just put the so I put the chat on. It's 38 degrees here.
Oh, okay.
So you think you're cold?
So 38 your way or 38 our way?
Like degrees.
Fahrenheit or Celsius?
Fahrenheit. Yeah, it's not. Fahrenheit. If it's 38 Fahrenheit, it would be cooking.
Yeah.
Celsius would be cooking. Fahrenheit, 38 Fahrenheit.
Okay, gotcha.
That's pretty cold.
Well, that's like 6 degrees Celsius, right?
Something like that. Yeah, it should tell me. It usually tells me on my phone.
I thought the UK did Celsius. I guess not.
Well, my phone's probably just. We do more Celsius, yeah, but it's my phone's just.
Gotcha.
It's that.
And so above says that she's been enjoying your energy with Heidi and with me, and I appreciate that. That's great.
Put the live chat
and Among Wolves says that you've also inspired them and that you're terrific.
Thank you, everybody.
So all this love going to Trish, absolutely, and much deserved.
Yes. And you know, it's so nice because it's coming from people I don't even know or probably never meet, yet the people, let's say family who you think it would come from.
Excellent.
It's quite interesting that you don't get it from the people you think you would, but you know, it doesn't matter. To me, my friends are more my family.
That's true. That's true. And I was just, I think it was on Wednesday, or I don't know if it was, I think it was Wednesday. I had mentioned on the air that I moved my studio and my bedroom. I swapped them, and somebody called it to my attention. I hadn't realized you had said that was going to be a good day. Energy was going to be good for beautifying the home and moving things around and making changes. So even though I didn't realize that you had said that, it was actually true. So this is good practical information that you're giving out to people.
And I'm loving the lion behind you.
Well, he's an old one. I used to use him, but since I moved in here, I haven't got what I want going on behind me. So we brought him back again.
Well, it's reminding me of the strength card.
It is, isn't it? It does kind of remind you of the strength card.
I like that.
Excellent.
My ascendant's in Leo, so maybe that's why I like lions. So maybe
so it resonates with you. Excellent. Excellent. So overall, what kind of a week are you think we're looking at?
Well, like today we've covered before, it's a day 2 or 11-2. So it's like a day for using your, I mean, I've never stopped. I've done reading. Like I said to you, I think just before we came on out, I've not stopped doing readings today, and I don't normally do this many on a Sunday. Sometimes I don't do any. But it's been really interesting people I spoke to. One guy, I'm not going to name him, I was shocked. He had 4 7s out of 6 in his chart. I have never seen that. I'm like, you must be super psychic.
That's amazing.
I was shocked. And yes, he does watch the channels, but I'm not going to say it is because it's private, obviously.
Yeah, you don't want to tell people's business.
No. So
Deborah
that
said
shocked
she got a
me.
reading from you, and you were right on target. Deborah Tucker.
Yeah, thank you, Deborah. Yeah, I've done a reading for her. So, okay. Tomorrow, Monday, is a day 3. So it's going to be a great day for having fun, or make sure you have fun. They call it the sunshine number in numerology. I have got some notes in front of me, but I don't really need them. But I just have them just.
So go out and do something fun, do something recreational, have a good time.
Yeah, unleash your creativity, things like that. Be creative. 3 is a very creative number.
Okay.
So it could be fun, as in just have fun, like being a child. You know, that inner child within you. Let it out, or do something creative.
So maybe write or draw or do something like that.
Anything that gives you joy.
That's interesting because I have to write a book tomorrow for Coast to Coast on Thursday.
Okay.
So I'm going to sit down and write probably an 80 to 100-page book tomorrow.
Does that bring you joy?
I love it.
Oh, I see. Well, that's good. Whereas me, it wouldn't, because I don't like writing. But
I love it. I absolutely love it.
Yes, that's perfect for you. Whereas for me, it'd be, I don't know. It wouldn't be doing that, but I think I prefer speaking it than writing it.
Interesting. So Monday, creative, fun.
Yeah, socialize, throw a party, go out dancing, anything like that. It's a good day for that.
Kick up your heels.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think. I don't know what I've got planned tomorrow, but it's not. Every day feels like the weekend to me.
You're not going out dancing tomorrow, Trisha?
No. I can't even think what I've got planned Monday. Oh, I am going live actually on Facebook with my friend Katrina. I call her Kat, and she's an animal communicator. So this is going to be fun for me because we work really well together. She's number 1, like Julie you had on. She's just about to go back to India, so I've just caught her in time. I've interviewed her on the radio, but we work really well together. And so we're going to do an animal communication, telepathy, body scans. So we're doing a Facebook Live, and she's never done a Facebook Live, so I'm getting her on. So that's going to be fun to me and creative. So
absolutely.
So yeah, we're doing that tomorrow. So Tuesday is a really powerful day. It's a master number 22 day. They don't come along very often.
Tuesday, yes. Okay.
Tuesday the 28th is a master number 22 day. So that's a day to put into action big plans. So it's not like a normal 4 day, because if you broke 22 down, it would be a 4. But a 22 you don't break down. So it's the master builder. So it's about putting big plans in place. I'm going to read from my notes.
So would you do like, start a new business, start a new venture, ask for a raise, ask someone out that you haven't, that you've had your eye on, stuff like that, start something new and big?
Well, it's something that you need to put into action, get it going. Yeah, it could be, look, but it's more usually about work and structure and building. I suppose you could, for your love life. It's like a wild card day, they call it. And it's like, they don't come along very often because the date, usually is a 4 day. But like, if you've got big plans, it's a good day to get it launched that day.
I'm trying to think what I should launch on Tuesday then.
I mean, you're getting close to doing this radio on Thursday. And for some reason, I kept getting Tuesday for you. So I'd be interested to see what happens that day.
Well, I will firm up I'm actually going to make the payment and do the scheduling for the shortwave radio show I'm starting on Tuesday. So
that's you putting it into action. You put it, because
absolutely.
I've asked you about 3 times, and you must be thinking she's not listening. I know it's Thursday, but I kept getting Tuesday for you. So
it's because Tuesday we're starting the shortwave. We're finishing that up. Wednesday I'm on a top 10 radio show here in the U.S. and then Thursday I'm on Coast to Coast AM. So a big middle of the week for me.
Yeah, it's about building foundations.
It's crazy, Trisha. I'll literally talk to about 10 million people this week.
That's awesome.
It's crazy. It's great.
Just trying to think. You're in a year 2 this year. I've remembered your date of birth correct. Is that
a good thing?
Yeah, it's just a good year for love.
Good year for love.
Mediation, love, because you're 23rd of 5th, right? I won't give the year.
23rd of May.
Yeah. So yeah, you're in a year 2 till about April,
Oh, nice.
May time. So yeah, mediation, cooperation, heightened intuition, and more.
Somebody laughs. They're not blocked anymore. I try to give people a second chance when I can.
Think simple is
Don't
not
make me regret it.
Yeah, don't. Yeah. Interesting. Anyway, it's a good day to go from a job interview, anything like that. It's all about work. It's more about work than love, I would say, a 22 or a 4-day.
Excellent. And then what happens on Wednesday?
Wednesday's a day. Have I missed a day? Yeah, that's the day 4. Day 5. Wednesday is a day 5. So that's about magnetize. That's like magnetizing people to you. I was going to say schmoozing, and I don't even use that word. Where did that come from?
Schmoozing on Wednesday. Interesting.
It's like a great day for, if you want to let your hair down, like, how can I word this? It's good.
Just be direct with us.
It's good for passion.
So it'd be good sexy time on Wednesday.
Yeah, you've said it. Like, I was struggling to say that, but yeah. Freedom, travel, like.
I don't remember what that is, but I think I kind of know what you're saying.
Yeah, it's like, because 5s are very they're very often that sort of thing they do all the time. So a day 5, it's like that energy of, yeah, having fun safely.
So I'm a 5, right?
Rex is a 5.
I'm an 11.
You're an 11 too.
Rex is a 5. Okay. So you're saying Rex should be a very powerful lover.
Well, they can be.
Wow, Rex Bear, you son of a gun.
My father was a 5, and obviously I don't know that, but he was a twin, and women used to queue up for my dad's twin brother.
Well, I'm sure they queue up for Rex Bear as well. Although Rex is very happily married to a very nice woman.
Yeah. So
we just want to make sure we say that. But still, that doesn't mean that women don't queue up for him or line up for him if you're not from the UK.
Yeah. Like, there's something charming about it. Like, that's my worst match at a 5. So
really?
Yeah.
But you can't help but thinking Rex is cute, can you?
He's cute, but I wouldn't like, and I'm just not being disrespectful to his wife. He's cute, but I just like, he's a good communicator.
He is a good
communicator. My father was a 5, but I've tested it out with a 5 Gemini, and amazing. But yes, it was he just disappeared off the face of the earth.
It works in the bedroom, but nowhere else.
I would say so. For me, anyway.
Professionally speaking.
Professionally speaking.
But anyway, Wednesday, if you're a 5, it's a good day for sexy time.
Yeah, get out of the office. It's not a day for being stuck behind the desk. It's like, yeah. But yeah, they say you may feel the urge to satisfy some sensual pleasures. That's probably a good way to put it.
That's a good way to put it. But you said 5s always want to do that anyway?
Yeah, you see, one of their life lessons is not to abuse sex, drink, drugs, rock and roll.
Gotcha. And I think Rex likes rock and roll too, if I'm not mistaken.
I know my father was a typical 5.
Excellent. We love you, Rex. You know we do, and we're hoping that. Yeah. Anyway, so Wednesday.
And he speaks. He uses his voice to communicate. That's what number 5 is very much about as well. Very good communicators. So Thursday is a day 6. That's a good day. Friends, family. Again, if you want to move things around, decorate, beautify yourself, start a new exercise regime, or even go to the gym. Obviously, this is global days, and in your chart, it pinpoints it to personal days as well. You can really pinpoint it down. Gotcha. I often won't, like, if I'm going to launch something, I'll look at what day it is for me, or I might just look at the global day, and I might not launch. And if it's a day 8, for example, I'll launch a business thing on a day 8. So since you brought that up, Trisha, if somebody has a plan to launch a business, or I read that Lauren just launched her YouTube channel, if you have a plan that you're going to do something big like that you put a lot of work and energy and possibly money and intention in, is it a good idea to go to you and try to get a reading and see what it might be? Thank you, Michelle, how it would be for that day? Or like, if I'm going to start something, should I go to you and say, hey, Trisha, what would be a good day to start? I believe so. I mean, whether it's a belief and but it works for me. Like, I didn't know when I went self-employed, I was in a personal year one. And I hadn't sat and calculated it, actually. And it happened to be a year one, best year to start something new, good year to go self-employed. So if you want to launch a new project, the best days really are a day one, either personal or global. Like you say, day 5, if you want to have some excitement, it depends what it is. If it's to do with money, a day 8, if you want to be empowered, things like that.
And I imagine that your astrology could play into that as well. So if someone talked to you and Heidi, they'd be in.
Yeah, you could really it'd be very interesting to me. Like, would the Vedic, because the Vedic and the numerology are coming out when we're describing people. Because I actually looked at something last night. I watched an old thing Heidi and Rex did, and they were talking about Alex Jones. I looked at his numerology afterwards, and Heidi described he's got a lot of 7s in his chart. He's a 7 like Heidi.
No kidding. And what does that mean? Give us just a quick breakdown.
Well, they're seekers of the truth. They want to, like, they're detectives. He's a true detective. And I don't know a lot about him, and I only just caught bits about him because he keeps coming up on YouTube. He'll want to unearth the truth, and he'll want to get it out there.
Mm-hmm.
They're brilliant.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like him. They think he's a shill or he's a plant or something. I think that he does get out a lot of good information. I tend to like Alex Jones. I know he gets a little redundant and a little fiery for me, but I do like him.
To say very vocal is actually probably a very private person, because deep down he's got a lot of 7s.
Interesting.
So actually, I doused on him, and I don't think he's as bad as people are making out.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
People just don't like he's speaking the truth. He's outing people. I
would agree with that. I really would.
And I've gone pure on his numerology because I've not watched his stuff until a little snippet the other day.
Good.
So a day 6, Thursday, is good for family, the house, maybe not work too hard on Thursday. Try not to make it all about work, which isn't always. So yeah, house, the home, the family on Thursday.
Let me ask you another question if I can. People in the chat room are talking about, I think, an astrology app. How much trust can we really put into these apps that we can get? I mean, you can get astrology apps, you can get numerology apps, you can get all kind of apps. What do you think about these apps?
Well, the program I use for numerology is really accurate, because let's face it, I could not write a 38+ page numerology report for somebody. It would take me days. It would cost them, if they went on my time, it cost them a fortune. It just wouldn't.
Right.
And the one I have is brilliant, because you can learn it all. And it's like, it's not that I need to have the app, but to write it all out would just take so long. I don't know about the accuracy of astrology ones.
For the phone apps, yeah.
You've got to be careful but the one I personally use for the numerology is spot on.
But the people that I know, like, you use a computer program, Heidi uses a computer program, that gives you the raw data, but you still have to have the skill and the intuition and the training to be able to interpret it.
Yeah.
So I'd be I would take with a grain of salt anything that I pull off I pull up my iPhone and it tells me tomorrow's a great day to start something from a little app that just ran for 0.28 seconds. I don't know if I would want to trust that. I'd rather have a human get the info and the data and interpret it. That's just me. Yeah.
Me too. Because it's like reading the star signs in the paper. It's so generic.
Right.
Not all Geminis are going to have the same day. Not all, because we're both Gemini, in Western, they're not all going to have the same day of the week. That's why I never read stuff like that, because everybody's individual. And every life path number 9 or 11-2 isn't going to be exactly the same either.
I agree. Yep. There's a lot of nuances involved in it. Absolutely. So now we know about Thursday.
So we're back to Friday because it's the 1st of December.
Friday is the 1st of December.
We're back to a day 5. Friday's the day of love. So it's going to be another great day for indulging if you want to.
So 2 days in 1 week for that. Wow.
Yeah. I think I need to, it's not good for us. Well, it could be good for us singles, couldn't it?
I'm not sure what your implication is there, Trish.
It made me laugh. I don't know. I should say this public. It doesn't matter. He's not going to watch it. Somebody contacted me the other day and said, "Hi, have you deleted me off Facebook?" Somebody I was friendly with. Because yeah, about 3 months ago.
Nice.
Gemini just went straight in. Yeah, 3 months ago. He obviously didn't realize. That's so funny.
Oh my goodness, that's hilarious.
And I'm like, what does this guy want? But you can gather. Yeah, I know what guys are like. It's so
one of these days I might actually start being romantically involved again. I don't know, maybe, but I'm starting for the first time in years, starting to think maybe along those lines potentially.
You've got to be ready emotionally, I think, haven't you?
Say that again.
You've got to be emotionally ready, I think.
You have to be emotionally ready. Yeah, I think so.
For the people. Like next year, you're in year 3, a year of having fun.
Oh, really?
Yeah, very, very fertile year for you next year.
Starting in May of next year?
About April, May. So like.
Starting right around my birthday.
Yeah, or it might change a little bit before. Get your creative juices going. And you may be feeling very creative next year.
Excellent.
Yeah. So yeah,
I'm always feeling creative. What would a year of me being really creative be like?
Intensified. And we're in a global year 11 and you're an 11 life path number. I think for you potentially could go boom, and I've been saying this to the 11-2s or anybody that's got them in the chart. In a global, I said this the other people that had lots of 9s or a 9 in a global year 9, it was going to be intensified, and it was. I get these little downloads. I don't always do like big grand predictions all the time, but that was just something I strongly felt at about 4 in the morning, and the cat's going to come back now.
Excellent.
Right. So
we're up to Friday, right?
We're done Friday. So that's again another day of.
Oh, that's the 5, right?
Yeah. You might be feeling, so yeah, because the months change, the numbers are not going to go in sequence. So then Saturday, you're back to a day 6, house, the home, the family. Let's have a look. Let me just add these up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So I've just lost the cat's just put me off.
They're good at that.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's a day 6.
They are good at that. Somebody asked me, Jeff, so who do we worship? And my answer would be really a question. Why do you feel the need to worship anyone or anything?
I don't worship anybody.
No. And would anything that wanted worship really be a true divinity? So my question would be, it's like the Christ said, he said, have no other gods before you. And I think that's really meant to be said in the first person. I will have no other gods before me. If you have to worship something, worship the spark of divinity that's within you, and give respect to who you're becoming. So I wouldn't worship anything. That's my recommendation.
Luckily, I wasn't brought up with religion. One thing my parents did, because there's so many people that were and struggling to like get out of it, sort of, they've got all this fear-based. I find it very fear-based, not judging anybody that is religious, but for me,
that's my job.
I know, I always questioned the Bible. I never believed, I just didn't feel, that's just me. And luckily I wasn't brought up with it, so I don't have to get that all out of my system.
That's a great advantage, because when you're worshiping, think about it. When you worship, you're placing yourself beneath something. When you worship, you are taking away your own power, your own divinity, your own sovereignty, your own freedom. So if you have to worship something, worship yourself, worship your higher self, worship who you are becoming.
I feel God's within. I mean, I don't even like to use the word God, but I feel it's within us. I think it's within us. So that's just my take on it.
I totally agree.
I was that bad, Jeff, that the book or the film Conversations with God at first, because it had that word in it, I wouldn't even read them. And then when I actually watched the film, I was like, and Neil Donald Walsh is a life path number 9, same as myself. And I was like, actually, the title put me off, but he downloaded all the information.
Interesting.
Through himself.
Interesting. Now, somebody's making a comment here that I obviously don't agree with, but it's an interesting comment. And I think you can respond to this from a numerology point of view, if you would, Trisha.
Mhm.
Someone says astrology is matrix programming that wants you to contort yourself into certain ideologies or beliefs about who you are and what you should do on certain days, etc. It's more helpful to break free. I disagree with that.
Yeah,
How
I
would
do.
you respond to that from a numerological point of view?
I can see where they're coming from, but I don't
I
agree.
can too. That's a good point.
I can see their point, but I don't agree, because when like Heidi did my chart, she told me things about me that's happened in my life that she could not have possibly known. I've never studied Vedic astrology. I've never, so for me, how would she know? And they're not just average things, they're very specific at very specific times. How would she know that those, you know, we're talking harsh stuff.
Right.
How
And
would she know?
astrology and numerology aren't telling you what is going to be. They're telling you what things typically will be if you don't take action. You can actually take the data that comes from astrology, the data that comes from numerology, the data that comes from having your palms read, or the data that comes from the rods or any other divination technique, and use it to make what you want it to be. Would you agree with that, Trisha?
Yeah, and also, like, what about all these people that come to me and we find that they're a life path number 9, and we go through and they don't know what a number 9 is or what their path might be, yet they have, that's happened to them. I've spoken to this lady earlier on, and she's not on here. She'd been through a typical life of a number 9. They're often abused, they're often like domestic violence. Like, people are not sat there thinking, right, I'm a 9, now I'm going to go out and get to be in a domestic violence relationship. This is where I question, I can see this person's point of view, but the more and more I do of it, it's like, this person doesn't know what numbers they are, but yet they're so true to form.
Yeah. What do you think is idolatry, Rocker? Please keep going, Trish.
That's just my take on it. I mean, I can see their point of view, you know, I can see both sides. And some people say, well, I'm a Gemini, so I'm going to start acting like a Gemini. Well, in Vedic, I'm a true Gemini, and in Western, I've got loads of water, but I'm more like a Gemini.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you could say, well, they've made up what a Gemini is going to be, but, you know.
Yeah. In answer to the question about angels, I don't trust them. I'll just be straight up with you. I don't want to give my power away to any beings.
Because I'm 99% sure beckoning angels to help you is evil in disguise. Well,
I don't trust them, think simply. That's just me.
I think, I don't know what to say about the angels thing, because I'm a bit like, I'll give you an example. And I've always been like, I'm on the fence about angels. I'm not going to say I don't believe, but I don't sit there praying to angels and things like that. But I'm open to it, because when my son was ill, this midwife came in and she'd just come on shift. We didn't know he was ill. She grabbed hold of him and said, I think I've told this story before, I don't know on there. She said, how long has he looked like this? And goes, what do you mean? Because every time he cried, his lips started to go blue. And I did start to think like something.
Oh, wow.
And she grabbed him, she says, and took my ex-husband with her, because at that time a lot of babies were getting stolen. So I said, make sure you take someone with you. He was less than 24 hours old. And it turns out he'd got a heart condition. He was on 40% oxygen. So
wow.
We went to Bristol for a month when he had his surgery and everything. And we came back with flowers and chocolates for this. We got her name and everything. We made sure we got her name. We came back and they said that woman's never existed. She's never worked here.
Holy smokes. Yeah, I've had one of those. I've had one of those experiences before too.
And back then, my son's 19 next month. I didn't even do all this. I'm not saying I wasn't spiritual, but I just was not involved. I was in the military, and I'm like,
wow.
We both said, she must have existed. We saw her. She took her, and they were like, no, she never existed. No one's ever worked there with this name. And it wasn't until years later that I read about these stories, and I was like, wow, that must have been one of those.
That was an angel.
To me, that was weird, because she existed, but I can't remember her name to this day.
Isn't that something? And see, that kind of, to me, makes it even more legit, because she wasn't looking for worship or adoration or anything. She was just there to render service. And she might even have taken her name out of your mind so you wouldn't give her worship or adoration. You're just
she came
being thankful.
She apparently just came on duty.
Amazing.
And my ex, you know, we both witnessed it. But anyway, that's one of my experiences. But I understand, you know, but I always say, live and let live. If somebody wants to believe in that, just don't ram it down my throat if I don't want to believe in it. The same with religion.
Yeah.
As long as somebody doesn't try to force me, then.
It's funny, Trisha, because I had an experience like that with an angel when I was in the military as well. And I was in Germany.
Right. I think angels have protected me, because when I went through domestic violence, he could have so took my life so many times. And I look back now and think, how on earth did I get out of that without really, something was protecting me. I know, but I didn't think that at the time.
Good stuff.
But
Good
anyway,
stuff.
that's a bit
Did we
heavy.
get to Saturday?
Yeah, Saturday was the, so where did we get to Saturday? I'm feeling distracted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, Saturday is the day 6, house, home,
Okay.
family.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Sunday is a typical day. Sunday is a Sunday. It's day 7.
Interesting.
A good day to relax, meditate, chill out, contemplate, go within. Don't try to force anything Sunday. I mean, you can. Obviously, I'm not going to sit here and say you cannot do it because it says it in the numbers. I don't want anybody to ever think that. But, you know.
Trisha, can you look ahead to December 10th and see what kind of a day that is?
I think I already have. I think it's a day 5.
Oh, which would be good, right?
Well, it's a day 5. Yeah, there might be. It's a good day to communicate, a good day to mix, magnetize people. Just be careful, because it is bang on in Mercury retrograde. Make sure you've planned it to the T.
Okay.
Because
so things don't go wrong.
A day 5 can be a day of chaos, and you've done it bang in Mercury retrograde. So you want to make sure everything's planned and like double, treble check everything. It could be a day
So
like.
I probably should have done this at a different day, but.
Well, not necessarily, but just, well, you could have done, but whatever reason you chose that day. But it's like, it could be a day like you booked it, and then you turn up and somebody, I'm not saying this is going to happen, like, oh, but
No,
we've
it
double
won't.
booked. We've double booked, or somebody can't find the place because they've got lost or they're late, you know, things like that. Just make sure everything's double, treble checked.
No, it's interesting you say that, because I was going to rent a projector and rent a screen, and I just bought my own because something told me, buy your own just in case. You don't want to depend upon, you know, something that you've rented.
Yeah, because it might not turn up or something, or it might be broken, you know, just things like that.
Right. So I bought my own screen, I bought my own projector, and plus I'm thinking down the road that we'll be doing more than one of these. So
when it's in Mercury retrograde, because I was hiding about this, because in the UK a lot of people are big on Mercury retrograde. They always want to know when it is, what's happening, and they always look at it bad, and it's not bad, but it's always about reviewing, reflecting. Not a great time to sign anything like legal documents or anything like that, apparently, because it might not be as it seems.
Right.
And we're ruled by because you've got Gemini.
Yeah, I do.
And we're ruled by Mercury.
You know, some people just don't have any dedication, Trisha. Cha Edwin says that they have a planned vacation to Cancun on the 10th, or they would attend the event.
God.
Some people just aren't dedicated to anything.
I think Cancun could like swing it.
I should have done the event in Cancun, huh?
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, thank you for looking at that. I appreciate it. So I did have that in my mind to make sure I double and triple check and make sure everything works out well. So that's good advice.
And it's in Scorpio, because I was hiding about this, because in the UK they are big on it. And in Western astrology, it's in Sagittarius. So it's interesting to see if it's going to pan out differently. Mm-hmm. And in Vedic, it's in Scorpio. And to me, it's felt more Scorpio-like at the moment. We're in the shadow of it at the moment. There's a shadow either side. So the whole of the rest of this year really is going to be affected by Mercury retrograde.
Interesting.
So
Interesting.
I've had quite like miscommunications.
Well, we're rocking on anyway, so I don't care.
No, I think there's a lot of it's a good time to reflect and review and see how you can do things.
And we have so much good positive energy lining up for that. We'll be in great shape. And with Heidi there and Jenny Moonstone, how could it
be a lot of passion that day?
Oh, it's a 5-day, right?
Yeah.
I won't even touch that.
Yeah, that's quite funny.
Just watch what, Trisha?
I don't know if the alcohol's flowing and stuff, I was going to say.
Well, at the event, we can't have any alcohol. That's one of the rules of the place. But afterwards, there'll probably be some alcohol usage among the celebrants.
I think some people might have some fun that day.
Yeah, good. Well, I'm looking forward to it. This should be fun. Violet Flame says that she's an actual angel.
Oh, okay.
And proud of it. That's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I can't comment on that. So
yeah.
How do you know if you are or you're not? I don't know.
How do you know you're an angel?
Yeah, I was quite interested.
And what's Sunday looking like, Trisha?
Sunday.
Did you do Sunday next Sunday?
Yeah, day 7. It's a day of rest.
Oh, that's right.
It's a typical Sunday day.
Well, that's because everybody wore themselves out on Saturday. They got to relax on Sunday.
We've got 2 5-days this week. So, yeah, it's a good day for, relaxing, reviewing, reflecting, meditating. I've certainly not had a typical Sunday today for me. What's today? I don't even know what day of the week it is. It's day 2, yeah. Been a day
2 today?
Yeah, heightened intuition, mediation, I mean, my son doesn't normally go out that often. He's had 2 nights. He went out Thursday and last night because it's his friend's birthday. Every time I say,
Alex, I don't know if he's trolling us or not, Trish, but he says he wants to give himself to the devil. Sorry, Alex, there isn't a devil, but rock on, brah.
Yeah, or the devil.
The devil. Maybe the devil's different than the devil.
Yeah.
Oh my. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting week. I just got these and I'm going to learn how to use these. Have you ever seen
rune stones?
Runes, yeah.
I've never used them, but I've seen them. I've got lots of friends that use them.
They resonate with me because of my Celtic roots. You know, I'm Irish on both sides.
Yeah, so. They've never resonated with me, but
I'm going to learn how to use these.
I'm
going to be a regular gypsy. I got a crystal ball. I got runes, rods.
I've got my rods here, working very well. We did a whole show nearly on rod questions Friday night. It was just.
Are they lining up with you and working?
I think so.
Yeah, it takes a couple days sometimes.
At first, they were a little bit. I've even got a scar, a mark on my head.
Did it whack you?
It whacked me in the head, yeah.
They will sometimes give you a very emphatic answer.
In fact, it's bruised. It's covered up with makeup, but it actually bruised my forehead. So I was like, whoa, I've got to be careful with these. But,
yeah, be careful because sometimes they will definitely.
I don't want to take my eye out with them, but.
I had what was the point I was going to make? I forgot what it was.
I was going to draw some cards. I didn't draw any cards. So I'm going to draw some oracle cards. Yeah, you got your rune stones.
Yeah, they do resonate with me. So I'm also thinking about this, Trisha. Tell me how this strikes you. I'm thinking about creating my own oracle deck.
I've always wanted to do that.
And I think I'm going to use it. It's going to combine a lot of areas of divination into one oracle deck. Because I was moved and impressed because like when you're here and Heidi's here and Jenny's here, I'm here, we've done shows together and the things just, facilitate with each other so well. I wonder if you could maybe repeat that within a deck.
Yeah, I guess I know a gentleman who I interviewed on the radio. He's called Richard Crooks. He lives out in, I think, Thailand now. He's the most amazing oracle card illustrator. His card, if I ever had cards done, he's the guy I would go to do mine anyway. They resonate with me because they're very beautiful and sparkly, and not sparkly like girly, but he's done some amazing decks.
Well, as Heidi would tell you, I have to do my own deck because
you may want to do your own. Yeah, he's very talented.
Controlling.
I can't draw for Toffee, so if I was to have someone, it would be him. He's brilliant.
So meaning you can't draw for Toffee. That means Toffee's really good, and you would want to draw, but you couldn't even if you wanted to.
My drawing is like stick figure, like level.
Gotcha.
I've never been. I love art, and I love more about the home and like picking things for the home, but not drawing as in
Interesting.
Yeah. So I've
You're
drawn
gonna pull some cards.
Yeah, I've drawn some from the Mermaid and Dolphin deck. So we've got the morning affirmations, if people can see that.
We can see that.
And I didn't know Scotty Roberts' daughter, her business, you know, you mentioned about her business booming. She does mermaid.
Yes, they make mermaid tails, the twin girls. It's called Finn Folk Productions.
Handbags, everything. I love I think I was a mermaid at some point because I love mermaids, and I'm probably sounding woohoo now, but it's not just the tails, they do handbags and everything.
Oh, I didn't know they did handbags and things. Oh, very nice.
I had a look on the website.
Finn Folk Productions, yes.
Yeah. So
I've never met those girls, but one of these days I will.
Be interested what their numbers are. Okay, say positive affirmations each morning. Oh, where are we gone?
Oh, this is Finn Folk Productions, just so you can see the stuff they do. Oh, look at that. You can get whatever those are called, like yoga pants that are
leggings,
leggings, that's right.
We've got handbags and all sorts.
Shop. Let's see what else they got in here.
I love the handbags.
Yeah, I don't see the handbags. Is that the handbags right
there? I'm pointing to the screen like you can
look at that, handbags.
Little clutch bag,
Those are pretty cool. Very nice.
I love seahorses as well. We've got them on there.
Beautiful stuff. So enough free advertising for Finn folk.
Yeah.
No, I love Scotty, so I definitely like to help out his daughters.
So, well, do you know what, Jeff? It all comes back to you when you have, you know, there's abundance everywhere. So when you advertise other people, it comes back to you. That's what I believe.
And hold on, folks. Stop the presses. Heidi Vandenberg's in the room.
Bless her. So positive affirmations. Yeah, I just want to say, keep your thoughts positive, especially first thing in the morning, because it sets your day up. I know some people that play like positive motivational speakers, especially I've got friends in network marketing, and they do this every day. That's they start their day.
One of a kind by Heidi, just in case you're wondering.
Then we've got the card of synchronicity. So you might have some synchronicity this week, or a lot of it. Your prayers and questions are being answered by synchronistic events. Notice them in order to increase their flow. I'm really drawn to the crystal as well on that today.
Ah, look at that.
You know, and I actually have got some crystals out by my desk, which I haven't had out for ages.
Interesting.
So I've been drawn to that.
I've got a piece of moldavite. Do you know anything about moldavite?
No, I've heard of it, but isn't that more? Didn't you have blue on your wrist? And wasn't that moldavite?
No, this is. I forget what they're for, but they're supposed to be for your throat and for speaking.
Throat chakra, blue.
So yeah, I got those, and I've got the red for protection on my left hand.
Right. I've got some.
Heidi, I'm just trying to help a sister out.
I've got some. What do you call this? This is for protection.
Obsidian or?
No, it's
black.
I think this is obsidian.
Somebody says lapis lazuli.
Hematite. That's hematite.
Hematite.
I used to have a hematite bracelet.
And I've got my shungite on for EMF protection.
I was doing a reading for a guy once, and he used to have a black tourmaline like bracelet, and it shattered one day when I was giving him a reading. He was so
it shattered?
He was trying to tell me how to run my life. It was the most bizarre experience, and it just shattered.
And you were giving him a reading, and he was trying to tell you how to run his life.
No, run my life.
Wow.
And I was trying to give him a reading about him, and he was telling me that what I shouldn't be doing. I was like, whoa, what's going on? And it just shattered off my wrist everywhere.
It shattered off your wrist. That is crazy.
Yeah.
Because I asked him this on what website, so I'll show this. This is Heidi's channel 27, Heidi Vandenberg.
I said to a friend, like, what does that mean? She says, well, it was really protecting you, but obviously it did its job.
And where's Trisha Gelder's web site?
Well, I've got a YouTube channel, but I haven't gone live on it yet. But
Here's Trisha G's YouTube channel, Spiritual Numerology.
These are uploads from Facebook. I'm pointing at it like you can see me, but they're my uploads. Some of them.
Excellent.
And you can see what I've been watching.
Yeah, you can see what you've been watching. We won't show anybody. So there you go. Trisha G and Heidi Vandenberg.
I'm going to start live streaming from there.
Excellent.
That's my next step. Because I do it usually on Facebook.
Well, if that works for you, that works for you. Maybe you can do both.
Well, like one day we had like 10, 12,000 views after one live. I was like, what the hell just happened?
No kidding.
Seriously, it was crazy.
I went live on Facebook one time. I didn't mean to. In fact, it was the first time that Heidi was on my channel, and I hit the wrong button, and we were live on Facebook instead of YouTube. So that's my only experience.
It seems on a Monday, like, I've had a few instances where we've had like 10, 12,000 views, and I'm like, what just happened?
Well, Taylor, we do have Shungite on my site, jeffreydarty.com, if you want to get some Shungite.
And the third card I've drawn for the week, Dream Big. So it seems like a really, a week for aiming high. Let go of small thoughts about yourself, see yourself succeeding. Maybe a lot of you are playing too small.
I think that speaks to me. I mean, this is a big week for me, so I need to enlarge my dream, because it's interesting, Trisha, and this is a little bit maybe too transparent, but I always said to myself when I got into this, boy, if I could just get on Coast to Coast, my whole dream would have come true. That's my entire goal. And now I've been on close to 10 times, and there's almost a feeling in me of, well, what next?
I used to work for a TV company for 4 years, and when I first got the accepted, I was like, oh my God, this is the best thing. It's like, I felt like I'd hit the jackpot, and I actually left, and it was like, I got to the stage of like, well, it's, like, I think you get to a certain level, and it's like, then you go up another level, and it's like, it was a stepping stone, and then it doesn't become like this amazing thing anymore, and it's like taking you on and that all.
But Coast to Coast is the biggest thing in our genre. So it's, it is the biggest thing in our genre. So
when you've done it so many times.
Yeah, but when it's still like Christmas every time that I come on. In fact, I said that to the producer. It's still like Christmas morning every time I come on. She's like, oh, stop schmoozing. I'm like, no, really, it is. And I do feel that same way.
And I felt that like when Heidi invited me on her show, and she came on my Facebook Live and said,
obviously.
I had my opera. I said, it's like an Oprah Winfrey moment, which might sound crazy to most people. And I'd love to meet her one day. That's something I've always put out there. But that's how it felt for me at that stage. Like, I feel like it was a big moment for me, and there'll become a time, and I'm sure Heidi's had her moments, I think we all do.
Absolutely. But I still have great respect for the honor and privilege that I have of being on Coast, but I have to find another huge thing to reach for.
Well, is there any others that are big that you could put out to the universe and say, like, for me?
Coast is the biggest. I've been trying to get on to Bill Maher's TV program. So that one would be a big one.
Put that out to Mr. Universe.
Absolutely.
When I say, like, I really want to work with this person, or I really want to go on their show, it happens. If I say it with passion and I just say it out loud and then I forget about it, I don't try and make it happen. It happens.
Absolutely. Do you ever work with sigils?
No, I haven't. I've looked into it, but I've not worked with them, no. Mine's more like I just say it out loud and it just happens.
Well, just for those that have ordered the intention candles, I did have an intention candle about getting back on Coast to Coast this year, and I burned it, and boom, it worked. So there you go.
Like, I can even say, like, I wonder what happened to so-and-so. Like, I wonder what that person's doing now. And then if I really mean it, and then I hear either from them or indirectly about them.
Excellent. Excellent. Did you go through all the cards, or did you have more?
I just drew 3 for the week.
Cool.
Unless you want me to pull any more, or
so someone gave a donation, and it was
anybody wants to read
their numbers, please, if you don't mind.
Sure.
It's November the 5th, 1967, and Rocker Chick says Trisha is so beautiful.
Thank you. That's very nice of you. If you see me, I literally threw on a bit of makeup and like came live. I didn't have much time tonight.
Yeah, Steve, I'm looking forward to being on. I'll be the second guest on Coast to Coast on Thursday night, Friday morning.
I suppose for 44, I don't do too bad. So 7, 8, 9.
You're 44. Guess how old I am? Oh, you know how old I am.
I know roughly how old you are, but you've lost years since you've had your transformation. You've lost years.
Have I had a transformation?
Well, since you've lost weight and you've...
Oh, and when I shaved off that big dead raccoon that I used to have on my face?
I don't know about that, but since you've lost weight and you've let your hair grow the natural... You look younger.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm not just saying that to
Thank you.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
I'm glad it's not a 5-day. I might be getting all excited. It's a little joke, folks. It's a little humor.
Yeah. Okay.
Crooked One wouldn't have known of me if it wasn't for Coast to Coast. Well, thank you, George Norrie. Daniel says dead raccoons. Yum. Do people really eat a raccoon?
I don't know. I couldn't. I don't eat meat anyways. Well,
I got to tell you a story, Trisha. I was in the military, I was in the Air Force, and I was on an air crew, so we had to do survival training. They dropped us out in the middle of nowhere for, I think it was 11 days. And the best thing I ever ate in my life was a porcupine. We managed to catch a porcupine and skin it and roast it, and oh, it was so good.
My friend,
survival training, ladies and gentlemen, no food.
My best friend's, well, husband now, he was air crew, and like I remember him going through the same, probably similar thing that you did, you know, and they had to catch their own rabbits or whatever and survive off the land. I just couldn't have done it. When I was in the military and we had to do this overnight thing and we had ration packs, I used to eat everybody's porridge. They gave me their porridge, and because I didn't eat meat and it had like beef and whatever, I wouldn't eat it, so I ate all the porridge.
That's funny. And Rocker Chick just wants you to know that she's not gay, she's straight, but you do radiate.
Oh, thank you. That's really nice of you.
But and April, who is also straight, says she loves Trisha. So we understand you're straight. That's okay.
I think it's good if a woman can, and I'm the same, can see that in other women. That says more about, that's a good thing in that they can do that. Like they're not being bitchy and like trying to pull me down. So that expresses, that shows what they're like as people to me. When you can appreciate another woman.
Oh, sorry, I'm answering questions. I don't know if Vinny's been on Coast to Coast, but George Norrie has been on Vinny's show. Somebody's asking a question. It doesn't look like Vinny's been on Coast to Coast.
I might switch teams for Trisha.
Who said that?
Among wolves.
Oh, that's funny.
No, I've always been able to appreciate the good and the beauty in other women, but you know.
Well, I mean, that's good. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah. So this person, is it male or female? The 5th, the 11th?
I think that's female.
Okay.
I think she's female. I don't mean to say
that.
Yeah, that was terrible.
So life path number 3. So the creative one, you're born to bring joy to others. So again, this person probably has a talent for, and it could be it's often musical or music, writing, comedians, usually great comedians, usually great fun, great to have as friends. I've had a lot of friends that are 3s and they're great to be around. They help to teach you to live in the moment, live in the now. The one thing they have to be careful though is to watch money, because they're the type of people that would pay to have a party and forget to pay and think then, I've got my bills to pay and I've just thrown a party for everybody. They have to be really careful of that. Plus she's got a 5 birthday, so 3s and 5s are very similar, very extremes, but I'd imagine Slay's very creative. And if they're not, it's usually because it's been suppressed in childhood. Like they might excel at the piano or something, but the parents either wouldn't let them do it or wouldn't pay for it. I've seen that happen. And then they've picked it up in adulthood. And she's got a 7 attitude number, the same as me. So she has got that psychic side to her. And also 3s can be very mediumistic. So she's going to have this side to her like myself, where we're taking people don't realize we're sizing them up. We may come across as friendly, but we don't necessarily trust somebody because we want to see over time, are they really who they say they are? Can they keep up that pretend, because people are often acting at the beginning, the best side of them is coming out. And I'm always watching, like, can they keep that up? Is that the real them? Or is their true character going to come out? We won't voice it, but we'll be watching that.
Interesting.
So she's now,
sorry. No.
She's in a year 8 like myself now, because she just had a birthday. So this is the year to aim as high as she can, empowerment in business, in work. This is a year to be empowered. Think of the lion behind you. It's like the Leo, the strength card. So potentially, you think of the 8 on the side, it's the what goes around comes around. This is just a snippet for anybody watching that think it's generic. Obviously, on a private reading, I go a lot deeper. But there's only so much you can do without looking at a person. And I'd go through your full chart if you wanted me to as well, because you've got 3 numbers in your names as well.
And so, talking again about coast to coast, somebody says that George Norrie's name used to be Noorey. They're talking about a Mandela effect thing. I don't remember that, not in my timeline.
Has he changed his name?
No. How do you find Coast to Coast? Coast to Coast does not have a YouTube channel. So you just go to coasttocoastam.com and you can find out what stations they're on, terrestrial radio stations. So you can find out which radio station is in your area. And if you can't watch it at the time, they have a subscription that you can pay. I think it's $5 or $6 a month and listen to all the channels. And it's worth it, in my opinion. Among Wolves just have I heard of the book Love by Numbers? I have the book and I think it's very good. That is a brilliant book because it's called Love by Numbers, and it focuses on a couple and like looking at how your numbers, and this is where I sort of got my compatibility readings from, got some inspiration from Glynis. Because you need to look at, your life path numbers might be very compatible, but you've got to look at all 6 numbers. And if you've got, say, 4 out of 6 numbers that are an exact match or in the same soul group, then the chances of that working are very high. Interesting. If somebody's got addictions, they're a drug addict or alcoholic, then forget about it doesn't matter how compatible you are, it's not going to be healthy. So you've got to remember that as well. And she gives examples of famous couples where it's been a real love connection. And just for the record, I don't support any of the Wildcat YouTubers that put Coast to Coast on, because if they get caught, they're going to get slammed. So, but anyway. And also, we have another date if you're ready. Mm-hmm. This is a lady. It is November 20, 1971. Okay, so okay. November 20, 1971. So this lady's a life path number 4. And she's got an attitude number 4. So she's going to be a rocker society type person. And some people might say, I can imagine listening like, oh, you say that a lot about a lot of 4s. Well, yeah, it seems to fit. My son's a 444. He, last night when he was out, this lad just to give an example, this lad was here from away, battery dead on his phone, drunk, couldn't find his friends, didn't know how to get to a hotel. My son Googles it and takes him to the hotel. How many people would do that? And, nice. His friends crying because, boys, when they get drunk, they probably start crying. They don't do it. And he's there as they're rock society type person. They'll be there for you. They can be seen as boring at times, but they're not. But they're like structure. They'll just be there for you. Financial security is very important to them. They're very good accountants, builders, anything if you think that creates structure. They don't like sudden change. This lady with at least 2 4s won't like sudden change. And when a relationship breaks down or if they get divorced and things like that, they don't bounce back very easily. They're one of them that bounce back. If sometimes they'll never ever remarry because it's too painful. Wow. Although Donald Trump's a 4 and he has been married several times, but he's got 5s. If I remember, he's got some 5s in his chart. He's got other numbers, so he's probably an exception. But they're usually long-term relationship people and in work and business. They're not really someone that likes to jump from, like a 3 and a 5. They're more likely to jump around, whereas a 4 isn't. Interesting. And I don't think Art Bell is still on Midnight in the Desert. I think that's what's her name now? There's a lady that runs that show. I think Art is retired from the radio. He may pop up a bit now and then, but. And this lady, she's in a year 5 now, so good year to magnetize people to her. Not a great year to make long-lasting plans because you might change your mind. But it's a good time to meet people. I had a lot of things falling on my lap in year 5 work-wise.
You know, people coming to me saying, will you be on my radio show? Will you do this? Will you do that? It can be things like that. Depends what you do for a living. Great year to, if you're single, to attract a partner. And the year after would be a good year for like marriage, living together, things like that. And it, you know, it often does fit that way.
Interesting. Are you ready for one more date?
Yeah. I saw Among Wolves. I don't know if that's the one you saw or if it's a different one. Which one is that?
Well, we'll do Among Wolves next. Go ahead and write him or her down. It's 04. It's April 13, 1965.
Yeah.
And then the other one I caught my eye, February 15th, 1965.
Do you know if the February 15th is male or female?
That's the girl that says you're hot.
I thought that was Among Wolves.
You have a lot of fans in here, Trish. Rocker Chick started it.
Is Rocker Chick 15th the second then?
Yes, she is.
All right, okay. So yeah, I saw the Among Wolves ones, right? So Among Wolves, so let's have a look. 11, 12, 13, 9, 10, 16, 17, 18. Okay, so she's an 11 too, like yourself.
Oh, really? Rocker Chick is?
No, Among Wolves.
Among Wolves, okay.
I don't know if Rocker Chick, I won't quote, somebody else was as well, but I don't know if that's the same person, so. Okay, so Among Wolves is an 11 too, like you, Jeff, so they're here to bring spiritual enlightenment, very intuitive, very sensitive. But I've noticed this before, you often have a lot of 11 twos on here when we looked before.
Interesting. What is Heidi? Do you remember?
7.
7, that's right.
The astrologer, the psychic. She's got, I think, at least she's got 2 7s. So yeah, she's naturally gifted psychically, intuitively, detective, absolutely on doing the right thing.
Interesting.
That's why she won't leave it until she's like gone, you know, she's the seeker of the truth. But you'll never fully know the real Heidi. Anyway, so Among Wolves, 11 too. So she needs a very sensitive home environment, something that you'd have needed as a child, but I'm finding time and time again, they don't usually get it as a child. So it's your opportunity to do it for yourself as an adult. You have to be careful about the people you hang around with because you like psychic sponges. But she has got a 4 birthday and an 8 attitude number, so that would help toughen her up a little bit. An 8 is like the CEO, the manager, the boss, the visionary. So that would help toughen her up a bit, which means she's been in the year of endings and is still in the year of endings till about March, April next year. This is Among Wolves. Get rid of what is not working for you. Anybody that's holding you back, lowering your vibration, it's time to get rid. Let go.
Interesting.
I feel like drawing her a card. I didn't draw the other one a card, but I'm gonna.
Okay.
Okay. Accept heaven's help. I don't know if you can see this. The light's probably.
Accept heaven's help.
You prayed for help, so get out of your get. I want to say get out your way. Get out of the way and let heaven help you. It's that saying, it's like get out of your own way. You know, you may be blocking manifestation because you're trying to control it.
Absolutely.
So that's a little snippet, but yeah, highly intuitive, healer, born healer, most loving life path number in a snippet. So Rocker Chick's the 15th of February 65. So 5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7, 8. Another, yeah, I thought she was, I think I've done hers before. She's an 11 too as well.
Oh, is she really? Thank you, Crooked One.
Yeah. 6th birthday, 5, 6. I'm sure I've done hers before. She's also got an 8 attitude number like Among Wolves, so she's in a year of endings, but she's nearly out of it. So in the new year, it will really start to change because she's 15th of February, so it'll start to change really in January. Some numerologists, for anybody new, work January to January. I work birthday to birthday, like some others do. So she's nearly out of her year of endings. Rocker Chick.
Thank you, Dean Winchester. Is this your take on someone else?
You're ready.
Among Wolves says that's spot on.
Okay. He's saying that's his. My name and birthday.
Did you do that?
I don't know. I don't know his details.
Yeah, I don't either. But if you want to send him, Dean, we'll do it.
Unless that's what he's got off an app or something.
Yeah, I bet he was the one talking about the app.
Ah, maybe that's what he was given then.
Yeah. Can you do another one, Trisha?
Yeah, sure. Keep
November
going.
20 of 71.
We've done that one.
Have we done that one? Okay.
That was the lady with 2 4s.
November 18th of 82. And that's a male.
November 18.
These things are flying through. November 18th, 1982.
Got a lot of Scorpio, well, Western Scorpio. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Another number 4. 9 birthday, 8, 9, 10, 11.
So do 11-2s tend to have the capacity to be able to appreciate attractive qualities in the same sex? Because they both were 11-2s and they both were saying that you were looking radiant today.
The most loving life path number. They're very loving. They're very intuitive. They're healers.
Gotcha.
One of my best friends is an 11-2. She's a Sagittarius 11-2. Yeah, they're very, usually, if they're on the positive side, lovely people.
Excellent.
Yeah. We've all got our strengths and weaknesses, but that's on the strength side.
Right.
18th, yeah, my best friend, well, I call her sister. I call her my sister. She's not my sister, but she's 11-2 as well. Okay, so 18th, 11th, 82 is another life path number 4. So again, like that other person, rock side. Did you say this was male?
Yes.
So they'd be good at building, usually building, good with that. They need to use their hands, apparently, 4s. They need to be able to use their hands. We're often literal builders or crafts or skilled with their hands, or accountants, good with figures. My son, I use him as an example because he's a 444, loves finance and figures, stuff like that. I get him doing I can do my own tax return, but I get him involved. So just to keep him, he helps with my tax return because I do it all myself.
Excellent.
I get him doing the figures. So this person will probably make a great accountant, but they're also going to be very intuitive as well. They've got a 9 birthday, humanitarian side to them, 11-2 attitude number. Again, that number's there. That's the first impression people get of this person. Obviously, there's another 3 numbers, so I'm just looking at half here. But the life path number is the most important one.
Now, how in the heck is it obvious that Among Wolves is a female? Look at that meme that she has. And tell me how I'm supposed to know that that's a female. How's that obvious?
I would have thought male. Looking at that.
I would have too.
Seriously, Trisha, that was
That's
so spot
funny.
on. I won't bore you with the details, but wow, okay.
Spot on, excellent.
I used to do birth charts, numerology readings, shamanic journeys, ultimately harm people largely down the road because they think they help, but instead lose their power. Well, I'm not about disempowering people. I've never had anybody, I've had people say to me, you've changed my life. You've helped me see. I've had quite the opposite said to me, to be honest with you. People have said, something you said to me just turned my life around. It made them get out of that abusive relationship. They've launched their business and they've had the courage to launch their Reiki business. I've not had people say you've harmed me.
I've never seen anyone say that to Heidi. I've never had anyone say it to me. So, I mean,
I agree. You got to be careful because I'm not one for people coming back for reading after reading because it does disempower you. But if all they need to hear, really, the best thing is that they don't keep coming back because they don't need to come back. If sometimes it's saying, you could just say a few words that light bulb goes off. Mm-hmm. They've got the courage to go and launch that business, and you don't want them to keep coming back. That's not what I want with people. So I've never had that experience. People have never said that to me.
No, I'd see with an astrologist or a numerologist, maybe, once a year, twice a year, you might want to check back in and just make sure, like, get your numbers for the year, get your chart for the year, kind of.
Yeah, I don't want people coming back every week or month. That's not healthy.
No, you don't want to. Well, I can't tell it's a naked woman's body among wolves. All I see is a wolf's head. Is that a naked woman's body?
Well, the bottom half looks like it is with a wolf's head.
Oh, I can't see it. So.
And I do, like, I have a lady now come to me. She wants every Wednesday. She has like, it's more like spiritual counseling, but I'm not like, I don't disempower. It's not what I'm about. I'm about empowering people.
Yeah. And
But
I would agree with that.
She'd rather come to me than a counselor with degrees up the yin yang, you know? And that to me was, I didn't expect that. You know, I was quite humbled when she said, I want to just come and talk to you.
Yep, I agree.
Anyway, my experience has been quite the opposite. I've not hurt people.
That's been my experience too. I would concur. Now, there are people out there like, you know, you don't want to get addicted to calling the psychic hotline. That would be rather stupid.
Well, the TV show I worked for is the biggest one in Europe. It's been going 12 plus years now, and it was a psychic hotline, and that's why I left, because I'm like, these people are coming back sometimes every day, and that didn't sit right with me. I'm like, I can't do this. I don't care how much or how little they pay me. I can't, and you can't turn the calls down, and that is why one of the reasons I left. I was like, no, this is not for me.
Trisha, talk to the idea that some people have that astrology is sorcery, forbidden by the Bible. It's terrible. You shouldn't do it.
Well, that's just fear. Maybe they don't want you to open up. They don't want you, you know, to me, this is a religion is to want to keep you in the box. They don't want you to see out of a box. They want to keep you, to me, it's like being in a cult. They don't, but maybe on a large scale, they don't want you to be enlightened and to have your own thoughts. That's my view on the church. I mean, I went to a Catholic wedding once and I felt like I'd sinned just sitting in the congregation. I was engaged to be married and my friend was getting married. And she wasn't practicing Catholic, but her mother was. And I felt like I was sinning, just sat there. It was so heavy. It was awful.
It is.
And I'm sorry, anybody out there Catholic, I'm not judging. It's just how I felt.
Yeah, it's set up to be that way, Trisha, in my opinion. It's set up to be a fear and guilt control matrix.
And that to me doesn't sit right. It's like, and I'm so glad I wasn't brought up with it. I really, really am, because I wouldn't, there's enough guilt and shame put on people in this world without religion.
Absolutely.
And then I think all these wars, most of it's about religion. So how does that, how can that be peaceful?
Square up, does it? Doesn't square up. Trisha, tell us one more time how we can get a hold of you.
Either through my website, so it's trishagelder.co.uk, obviously www.trishagelder.co.uk. I have now got a booking system on there that should work, because I was doing a lot of emailing forward and back, so to save people time and me time, they can now book online. If they do have problems, just directly message me or go to Facebook, Trisha G444. I am nearly maxed out now, but you can follow me, and all my lives are public anyway, so you won't miss anything. And I do, yeah.
So if someone wants a reading, what do they do on this site? They just go here to book your reading? Where
it says, if you just scroll up a little bit, I'm pointing at the screen like you can see it, where it says book, you should be able to click on that. It works on my phone.
So yeah, so you'd book here for spiritual numerology.
And then it will take you to the times that are available, and it's in British time, but it should convert it for you.
Now, for those of us that are not in the UK, what is 44 pounds in dollars roughly?
I worked this out for someone the other day. I think it's $60, and it was about 101 for 77.
Okay.
It's about $1.3 to the pound, roughly.
All right. Excellent.
Yeah, I was thinking I should, so I'm going to see if I can amend to put the dollars on as well. That was something I was thinking about. Because I'll be honest, I'd say majority of my clients now are in America.
Really?
And even before, I had a higher proportion before I came on, you know, on the YouTube shows, but now it's getting, I mean, it's international. I read for a lady in Dubai tonight, and that's been a first. So that was lovely.
That is lovely.
Mm. All over the place. Yeah, Facebook, I do lives 2, maybe 3 times a week, sometimes with a guest, where they can get free mini taster readings.
Excellent. And
And
also you're on with Heidi quite often.
Yeah, Friday nights I'm on with Heidi now. I'm on with you Sundays. I think if it's still on, I don't know, I need to check. I think Heidi and I are on with Rex again on Monday, if it's still on.
Fantastic. That sounds like fun.
Yeah, and I'm going to start streaming live on my own. I've got to just got to bite the bullet and do it and see what happens.
Well, let's do it. Just make sure you do the numbers and launch it on a good day.
Yeah, I will. I've got to look into that. It's just once I suss the technology out, which I'm sure is pretty simple, then I'll be fine. I usually suss it out myself somehow.
Absolutely. And let's make sure that we're in the chat room. We're not saying anything bad about friends of this show. I'd appreciate that very much.
Do you need Zoom to go? You don't need Zoom to go live on. You can just stream live, huh?
You don't need Zoom. Zoom makes it easy. It makes it pretty seamless, but Zoom does cost like $60 a month or something. So.
Because I've got Zoom, but then to have it, like, if I want to invite guests on, you've got to have the higher up. You got the webinar thing there, haven't you?
Exactly. But Zoom does make it easier, but it's not necessary.
Okay.
All righty.
Thank you.
Trisha, it's a pleasure as always to have you on. Look forward to seeing you again next week and seeing you throughout the week as well on some of the other programs. And folks, make sure you get a hold of Trisha G and get your readings and get some information to take charge of your life.
Yeah, absolutely.
And until next week, I salute you for being here. And I'm going to say goodbye to Trish, and I'll see you later on today. Thanks for being here, everybody.
Thanks for having me. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye now.